the third presentation titled Sing a New Song unto the Lord. And it's very easy to to introduce our next presenter. I have to say only two words: Deacon Rubik. Deacon Rubik, and you all know who Deacon Rubik is. Deacon Rubik is our beloved brother in Christ who serves as the conductor, as a choir director at St. John's Armenian Church in Detroit. He's also artistic director and conductor of Armenian Chorale of Detroit. Deacon Rubik was part of this sacred music festivals. He did the presentations, and we'll always look forward to hear him both presenting and singing. And he will do today both. He will present, he will talk, and he will sing. Deacon Rubik, are you ready? And I apologize for starting such a delay your presentation.
Yes, I'm ready, and that's why I don't like to be the last one, because as we know, we are almost more than 30 minutes late of this program. But it's good to see still everybody here. I think most of us are still here, so that means everybody is enjoying. Why don't we just take just a minute and get up and stretch a little bit if you have been sitting long enough. Let us do that, and then I can start, okay? Just get up and let us stretch a little bit. Okay, if we are ready, then we'll start. Thank you, Father Hofan. It is my pleasure to be with you and everybody, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this. Before I begin my presentation, I would like to share one of my experience with you regarding love songs. Sir Pazan mentioned this morning, sacred music should be love song. That reminded me of an experience that I had with one of my teachers. So I grew up in church singing in the choir, but then when I graduated from high school, I decided to pursue music in higher education and especially study Western music. So I traveled to Europe and then ended up in US studying music. I studied with many teachers, got deep into every subject of music, theory, harmony, periodic styles, history of music, plus performance. I studied voice for many, many years with different teachers. My teachers emphasized the technique of breathing, phrasing, tone color, exercises, every kind of things. And I thought I had mastered everything when I was in graduate school. But right during that time, I got a chance to study with a teacher who all students dreamed of having her. She did not take everybody. She had to be in a level, I mean, you had to be in the level that she would approve, and in order for her to take you as her student. She was a Greek lady, a very short, tough lady who sang with Maria Callas. If you know Maria Callas, one of the legendary singers, and she was always telling me that she sang with Maria Callas. So she was the jewel of our university. Many famous opera singers would travel to come to study with her. Her name was Elena Nicolaidi. When she took me, she was in her 70s, late 70s, I need to say. So after a few months studying with her, I was working on an aria, an operatic aria, I think it was from probably Donizetti's aria, or opera, if I remember correctly. I learned the song entirely, word by word, the music, the phrasing, the dynamics, harmony, everything. And I thought that I was ready to perform. In my sessions with her, one of the lessons, the accompanist started to play and I started to sing. The song would go like, Bella siccome un angelo in terra pellegrino, fresca siccome il giglio che s'apre sul mattino. So immediately she stopped me when I was singing those. She stopped me. And she said, what are you singing? I was shocked, but I had prepared every word, as I said. So I started giving her the translation. I said, I'm singing to a girl, saying you are beautiful as an angel, bella siccome un angelo, like an angel, and then fresh as lily, fresco siccome un giglio. So I started giving her the translation, and then she said, no, stop. I don't want the translation. I want to hear that in your voice. You do not say that. You're giving me the translation, but I don't hear that in your voice. So I started again, singing the same thing. You know, she stopped me. She said, no. I do not hear. I do not hear what you are saying. So then she said, after the third time trying, she said, you are Armenian, I am Greek. And we are passionate people. We know how to express our feelings, especially when you're singing to a girl, a boy sings to a girl. I need to hear that in your voice, which I don't. And she said, imagine an Armenian girl is standing next to you and you are in love with her. Is this how you express your love? If that's how it is, I bet she would slap you and she will leave you. All you do is to think where your voice functions, where technically, which you don't, you shouldn't think about that. You have the technique, so now express the song. So that was what actually changed my whole studies after that. And when I decided to study choral conducting later and get into sacred music of our church, which I had the background already, I decided to go to seminary to study the Orthodox doctrine and everything about our church, about the gospel, to understand our sacred music. Now, I'm not advocating that every choir member should do that, since that is not possible. But it will help in your music if you know more about the gospel stories, our church theology, our church history, and so on. So if you get a chance, please do that. And you will know you are in a right track when not only your congregation, but non-Armenian people who happen to be in your church for a liturgy, whether divine liturgy or funeral or wedding, they approach you and say, we don't understand Armenian, but we did not need to. We felt that in your voice and your singing. and they say, thank you. We do not have that experience even in our church, which the liturgy is in English. We felt that spiritual presence in your voice and in your music. So that is what is our priority. So I totally agree with Sirpazan. These are love songs to God, and we need to be able to express it well so that it can add to the spiritual understanding and feeling of our congregation. That is our number one priority as a choir member. Anybody who enters to church on Sunday needs to have a pleasant spiritual experience. So that's what I wanted to share before I start my presentation. Sing a new song unto the Lord. So if I can share my screen now, I think I should be able. Okay. All right. So this is my presentation. Sing a new song to the Lord, unto the Lord, and that is taken from Psalm 96. And Sirpazan suggested that to be a title. There is no secret to this title. Basically, we are going to sing a new song, and there's no other secrets to it. But how can we do that? Our Badarak music is fixed, and we always sing the same music written by Mailian. So how can we sing a new song? Do we have a choice? Is there another music written? The answer is yes. We heard several melodies and variables. Father Arshen, Father Abetis mentioned today, and we heard Father Voskan and Mrs. Edita singing beautifully today. So we think, we know that there are, and also Deacon Haig talked about different badaraks and the celestial melodies yesterday. Now I will try to offer a few more music for those badaraks, from those badaraks, and show you how to incorporate in the Yegmalian badarak you sing every Sunday, just for a change. We sing Yegmalian badarak every Sunday, and we have heard about Gomidas badarak. A couple of churches do Gomidas badarak occasionally, but as you heard yesterday, there are many more badaraks than 2, 3 we know. The list goes starting from the top, and I have put this not in order of anything, but the publishing basically. Kevork the Fourth Catholicos basically was one that we have one, and it was published in 1874 in Echmiadzin. Then Deacon Haig mentioned about Pietro Bianchini, which was commissioned by Mechitaris Monastery in 1877. We have Magar Yegmalian, 1896 published. And then Emi Apgar, which also Deacon Haig talked about, 1897. We have Levon Chilingirian. We have Gomidas, 1915, Arsen Aydinian, which also was from the Mechitarists, and Ara Bartevian. I don't have the date of publication of that. I think it's 1960 something. Then there's Edgar Manas, 1962, Parsegat Magian. I have only manuscript of that. Khoren Mekhanejian, 1999. George Kirizian just lately, 2008, and Christopher Garam Murza, who wrote actually Badarak way before Magar Yegmalian, but it was published just recently. So I put that in 2013, it was published. So I put that there. And there are actually many more, which I didn't list here. But as you can see, we have at least these many choices. Hopefully in the future, we will have all of these music available online in our Sacred Music Council web. so that you can check it out and you can pick anything you want and teach your choir. Now, let us see how we can incorporate selections from different pieces of these music into Mailian Badarak. First, we should know that generally songs are grouped into two major groups in our divine liturgy. The songs of divine liturgy are either in ordinary songs or proper songs. So the songs are called ordinary when they remain unchanged. Ordinary songs don't change from Sunday to Sunday, but if they change, like several of them that we heard today, they are called proper songs. Basically, they are proper for that Sunday. So it changes from Sunday to Sunday. Example of the ordinary songs are Chorut Chorin, because we sing that every Sunday, no matter what. And those little responses in between, we always sing the Nicene Creed, the hymn of the great entrance, the hymn of the kiss of peace, the Surp Surp Sanctus, hymn to the Father, Hayr Yegnavor, Hamenaini, Vorti Astudzo, Hoki Astudzo. All of those, basically, all of these songs are ordinary songs that we're required to sing every Sunday, no matter what, during liturgy. So these are the ordinary songs. Next. Please mute yourself. Now, next is proper songs, which we said that they change from Sunday to Sunday. And those are like the melody or mereti, the hymn of sensing, which is the Parechosutiam, Sharagan. It changes. Then introit or Jamamud. Then Jamamud, which basically is the Miatzin Vorti. And then the variables on that time. The midday hymn, Jashu Sharagan, which we heard a couple of those today. The Trizagion, Surpastvats, which also changes, the text changes from Sunday to Sunday. Then midday psalm, Jashu Alleluia, and this is Alleluia, Alleluia, and then it's a different kind of Jashu Alleluia for before gospel. Then there is the Hegiodi or Serpasazutun, Hreshtagain, and Ovevorpes, and those things that change also on Sundays. Now, ordinary songs, as I said, are the songs that change, and from Sunday to Sunday, don't change, sorry, ordinary songs don't change, but proper songs change based on the mode and the feast of the Sunday. Now, with some careful studying, we can choose a song, whether ordinary or proper, and replace it with another composition from the Badarak songs. I mentioned above. Why do I say carefully? Because we do not want to change the momentum and the mode or tonality of the Badarak. We do not want to cause any interruption into the Badarak. If that song you choose is going to be followed by deacons' litany, then you need to think about working with the deacons to respond to that melody the way that composition requires. Now, there are songs in the Badarak that are independent. That means they are followed by a spoken psalm or a dialogue. This will be ideal place for substitution. For example, the first song of Badarak, which you see on the screen, the Chorut Chorin. It is safe to substitute with another composition of Chorut Chorin, since after that song comes the dialogue between deacons and priests. There's a psalm that they recite between them. So there is nothing to go after that. It is an independent song. We always sing this Chor Chorin of Yagmalian. Chor Chorin an Hasanaskis Borgsar Taretzer Sverin Petutun. So do you know that song? I don't need to remind you of that. But how about singing Gomidas version from time to time? Gomidas version in parts is very similar to Yagmalian version. So it will be easy to learn, but at the same time, it sounds different. So it will be a good song to learn for a change to sing occasionally. Let us learn this piece now. I have just included melody here because, first of all, the Zoom doesn't have the capability of all of us singing together. So you have to listen to me singing and muting yourself. And then if there is time, maybe I'll ask you to, one or two of you to repeat, but I don't know if time will allow us. But this is how it goes. Thorin an Hasanas Gizmen Borsar Taretzer Zverin Petutun Iharakastan Matuts Lusoin Kerapan Sparotas Srerin Las Takavor yegnavor zekeretsiko ansharshpahya evzergarpakus anvanat kumpahya ichavautya. Kind of similar to Yagmalian, but it has its differences. So let us take a few phrases together and learn this. First, ready. One more time. Can we do that? Now, one more time, listen, and then if there is somebody who wants to try, I'll ask you to try. Anybody wants to try? Okay, I guess not, huh? Let's go on. And I'm not going. That's another subject for another day. Basically, here I have added my interpretation to the song. It's not what Gomidas had put in there. We always notice Armenian songs do not have any dynamics markings, even in most of them, no tempos, no crescendo, decrescendo. And that is why it is up to the singers to know what they are doing. It's up to the person that understands the text totally and brings out that text. And that is the reason. We have never had those dynamics markings and those soft and forte and those things. It's all up to the performer. Nowadays, the new composers try to do that, but in the old time, we never had those things. So, that much. Orhorinan hasanas gizmen orsartaretser sverin petutiun. Iarakastan matois lusoi kerapans paroktasus regina. That is the first verse. You see the difference between this one and the Mailian. It has a little bit more kind of 8 notes in between, and that makes the difference. But when you sing this, as Serpazan mentioned about the translation of this, also I have it under. You need to think of, this is a mystery song, so it needs to bring out that mystery. We are singing that kind of starting, looking ahead, that there is something that it is unapproachable. We are talking about something that we see a light, but we cannot approach that light. We need to think of a mystery that it is beyond our understanding. And that is why our forefathers put this song right into the beginning of the Badarak to remind us that that Badarak is not simple thing that you want to understand. It'll take time. It'll take knowledge of liturgy. It'll take humbleness, certain humbleness to understand the whole meaning of Badarak. And we need to express that in this song. Iarakastan matus luso kerapans paroktasus reginat. Takavor yergnavor zegeresiko ansharspahya. Yevzurger pakus anvanet kumpahya ichavutya. So I have, let's see, I think, well, I don't have, I had put, yeah, this is recording of the harmonies. So didn't want to, I don't have time to play all of that for you, but just wanted for you to listen to the harmony of that too, which Gomidas had it. And it is a nice song to add that from time to time in front of the liturgy, instead of singing Mailian Chorin, for example, all the time. You can sing Gomidas Chorin from time to time. In our church, I have once or twice a year, we do the whole Badarak of Gomidas, just for our congregation. But if you don't have that capability, you can do one song at least of it. So next I have, I wanted you to listen another version of Chorin by from Aydinian's Badarak, which is very different. It's an instrumental. It's a solo. So yeah, just because of time, I can't play more. But I understand church choirs will not be able to do this, but it is good to know about this kind of badarak that exists. And if you like to meditate from time to time and listen to some nice orchestral badarak music, you can listen to this Idenian music. So that is the reason I played for you, that you can even play in your churches if there is no, there's been between some things that programs or something you have. So next, regarding the melody, we have many choices, as you heard today. Some of those. For example, I like Ruben Krikorian's Heis Harg instead of the traditional Heis Harg to sing. And there's Edgar Manas Heis Harg. Now, as Dr. Utijian said, this is a song offered during divine liturgy while the curtain is closed and the celebrant and deacons prepare the altar and the gift. You can choose these based on your voice register. For example, there is Heis Harg of Ruben Krikorian that I choose for the sometimes medium voices, and then Edgar Manas's is for high voices. Just to give you a little sample, Ruben Krikorian's goes Heis Harg, Naviranas uchti. Beautiful song, and I don't want to sing the because we don't have time. But Edgar Manas is just, it is different, and it has a more left and intervals to it. It goes And then some other ways. I'm sure some of you know these songs, but you have many choices for melody. And next is Jamamut, which or introit, we call it, which these days we change it to this one. I'm sure most of you at least know several of these Jamamuts that you can sing from Sunday to Sunday. Some churches for resurrection only sing Miatzin Vorti, and then basically they stay there with that for the whole year till they come to Easter and sing this one. But there are many, many more Jamamut that we can incorporate into Badarak. And if you can ask your priest, the priest can tell you based on the calendar of the church which one you should sing. And Secular Music Council provides that in their liturgical calendar. So if you go there, you can print these Jamamuts and learn. We know this one, Christos Haryav Imerelot, Mahvamaz Mahgochyat, Yev Harutyampan Yurov, Mezas Gyanos Kevyat, Namapark Havidyans, Amen. There are many, many more choices of this also. It'll be nice to do that based on the calendar of the church, as I said. Then next, we have Surpastvat, the Trisagion. Is also something that you can substitute with another version. But here you need to be careful. As I said before, since there is a litany that comes after, and your deacons and choir should follow the same version of the Trisagion that you sing that day, and not to go back to the Yekmalian. After the responses, then you will be able to go to the Yekmalian Badarak. So this is the Surpastvats by Chorenian, which I like to incorporate into Yekmalian Badarak during Lent time. It is a nice kind of thing. It goes, Surpastvat surpievazor, surpievanma, vorhariari merelot, vormiames. And again, the link, Surpastvat surpievazor, surpievanma, vorhariari merelot, vormiames.
Like that, I wouldn't have gotten them.
And then lastly, the last one basically changes that way. But then we need to know that deacons will immediately respond, and then you need to follow this Devormia. Devormia. Asen chautiana menaina shkarhi yavastadutian serpoye geretzvos derachesuk. Devormia. And then the last one, Vasanok Volsunangutselos, Vorchushmarit Yavuri Havatovi Christos Ninjetsin, as derachesuk. Ishater Yevormia. Tervormia, Kestiarent Hans Yeritsuk, Tervormia, Tervormia, Tervormia. And here is the one that you can stop and go back to Yekmalian Badarak after this. So if you are choosing your song, you need to be careful when to start, when to stop. I would like to be interactive with these songs, and but because today we are getting very late, I can't do that. I wanted to take time on these and teach you at least these 3 songs that I have chosen, the Chorus Foreign, this one, and then the next one, which I will talk about after. But let me just do this one more time and listen and see, very beautiful melody. Sur pastvat, sur piefazor, sur pievanma, ur hariarim merelots formiames, Jevjevas chagotianas teraces suk tervormia. And then the last one, Ishater yevormia, tervormia, kestiarant hans jerisuk tervormia, tervormia, tervormia. As I said, we sing this on the Lent, during Lent, on Sundays of Lent. And there are, believe it or not, there are some people who come and ask, when are you going to sing that Surpastavats? After hearing the Yagmalian many, many times, they come and ask if we could do this one or something. But I tell them, you know, you need to wait for the Lent. So that is the Surpastavats of the Chorenia. And I have one more Surpastavats that it is by Kirisian, just recently in 2008 published this. It is his Surpastavats, which we are going to listen. Okay, so that was a different kind of Surpastavats that is by Kirisian. So you can pick any song and replace it with another version of Yekmalian. But just know that, you know, you shouldn't think of changing many, many songs. 1 or 2 songs at one time is good, but not doing, you know, hodgepodge and just keeping that momentum of the Badarak. The changes 1 or 2 is good because that kind of gives a new thought to some of our congregation and kind of think, oh, what's going on? There's this one I didn't know, or you know, they kind of start paying more attention. But anyway, that is the reason that it is good, and also for the choir purpose, it's good to they get excited. You know, they're singing a new song. Next, Christos Imeshmerheit Netzav, which we sing Yagmalian every Sunday. Christos Imeshmerheit Netzav, Oren Astvat Astvat Netzav. And that one that all of us know. But it'll be good also to change that. This version that I have is Emi Apgar's version that it is quite an old song. And here I have just put the melody here, but it has also harmony to it. Just for our purpose, I have the melody here. And it goes, Christos imech merheit netzav, voren astvat astpas metzav, Chagarut jan sein Hemchetzav, sur fuchchuni ramantevav, Jegerestis mi ans jerev, am puirus other mantevav, Tashnamut yunan heratzav, Cernan tanurus pritzav. Art pashtoniaik partialus sein, duk zornut unimi peran, mi asnaganas tvatzutian, vorum srov peknensur papa. And here you need to be very careful. Teach your deacons the Ahiv Gatsuk, which comes after this, because it is different. They need to sing with the same melody, Ahiv Gatsuk, and not the Yekmalian, because it will not go well. So the Yekmalian, the deacons should sing the same thing. Ahiv Gatsuk, Yerkuhiv Gatsuk, Arvoch Gatsuk, Yevko Hatzaruk, Hasgushutyam. But then we go to the Yekmalian Padarak. Arkezastvat. So those are the tricks that you need to know. If you are adding a song, you need to know what is coming after and continue that momentum till it is the time to stop. One more time. It is a beautiful melody. When I introduced this to my choir, first they didn't like it. And obviously it is possible because when you are singing one thing over and over all the time, and you suddenly are changing to something dramatic differently, obviously you will not like it. But now actually everybody loves it. Christos imech merheit netzav, voren asvat astpas metzav, Chagarut jan sein Hemchetzav, sur fuchchuni ramantevav, Jegerestis mi ans jerev, Am puirus odler mantevav, Tashnamut yunan heratzav, Cernan tanurus pritzav. Art pashtoniaik partialus sein, duk zornut unimi peran, mi asnaganas tvatzutian, vorum srov peknensur papa. As you know, it's a very simple melody and everybody can learn it. And it doesn't have too much a high register that some people cannot sing, even better than Yagmalian. And I have included all of this music on our Sacred Music web, so you can go and print it if you want to learn those things. These three songs I at least wanted you to learn, but unfortunately time doesn't allow us to go over this and have an interaction and teach you these. So I'm going to go on with this presentation. Next I have a sample of Ara Bartevian, Dervogormia. We sing this one in major feast days. This is a recording that I did with my choir at St. John.
We cannot hear it.
Oh,
Deacon Rubik, if you try to reshare your screen,
yeah.
and just enable where it says share computer audio and see if that helps. It should be
Let me see. Let me go back and see what. Share. What do you want me to do?
so share your
Share.
screen again, but this time there should be a box like on the bottom that says share computer audio. Well, no, so even before you get there, so I'm going to stop your sharing again.
Okay.
Go in it when you hit share screen, and as you're going to pick the window, there's a box that says share sound.
Let me see. Share sound. Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's good too. Good.
Yeah, that was not me. Okay, so let's see. Can you hear now?
Not really, no.
Okay. Volume is up. It's not, yeah, it's very low. So anyway, let me just sing a little bit for you. It goes like Terror mia, terror mia. That's kind of the song that I was going to play, but it's a very different one and very nice Terror mia. But that is basically my presentation. Hopefully I can put that recording on a website and you can listen to that. But so as you see, we have choices and we can sing a new song during Badarak. We just need to incorporate that in the Mailian Badarak. Today we listened to a number of them and learned 3 songs. You can find the music on our Sacred Music Council web to print and learn. Hopefully we can add more selections in the future. And thank you. Now let me stop sharing this. And now I'll turn it to the Father Hofhan and the officials.
Thank you, Deacon Rubik. As always, thank you very much for introducing this variable melodies and introducing to this more opportunities for us to explore new music and to sing new song. We are less behind now our schedule, but as we promised, we'll have a short question answer session, and please be brief with your questions and answers. So we'll try to get back to our schedule. I mean, we're behind anyway. So Deacon Michael, if you can monitor that, if there are raised hands, please tell us whom you're addressing the question.
Yeah, so I see Edita has her hand up.
Edita, yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rubik. It was very interesting. And I'm sorry for my broken English. But I have this question for Sirpazan or High Surps. Is there any laws and or rules for in Armenian church that we can play this kind of sharakan or this kind of patarak, let's say Kirisian or Aydinian pataraks we can play in Armenian church? Because for my ears, it sounds a little bit, let's say Kirisian is a little bit Russian, like I feel like I'm in Russian church, or the other patarak is like aria from opera. So how is it normal to put in our patarak? That is there canonic and non-canonic sharakans? Thank you.
I'm happy to answer that. There is regulation regarding full badaraks. There is a process, and I don't know how old this process is, but I know that in recent decades anyway, in the second part of the 20th century, I know that it is something that's approved by the Catholicos. That was the case with the badarak composed by Maestro Horen Mechanedjian. I recall when that was actually approved by Vasken Behapar, Vasken I, of very blessed memory. And I believe it was at his request. He was actually the one that commissioned the badarak of Maestro Horen, who is so well known to all of us. So my interpretation would be that that refers to the full badarak, an entire badarak that starts with Chorut Chorin and goes to the end. That would need to be with the permission of the Catholicos. But it seems to me that, pieces like a Der Voror Mia, for example, the one we just heard from Deacon Rubik, which is beautiful, and I've heard it before, probably in your church, Deacon Rubik. I think, if it's well executed, well prepared, I don't see any reason why we couldn't do piecemeal renditions of other badaraks with a bit of caution. Something like that has a little bit of a history behind it. I don't see why we couldn't do that.
Yeah, and if I can add to that, Sirpazan, there are 4 badaraks that are approved by Catholicos and different Catholicos, Catholicoi actually. We know the Yekmalian, we know Gomidas, we know Horenian, and also Emi Apgar that has printed actually Gework the 5th, the decree of his approval. So we have those 4 badaraks that are approved, and the rest are just not approved yet.
There is a 5th version also, which Chilingirian recorded. They used to sing it in Jerusalem. It's called Avantagan Yeranag. He put it to music. It is similar to what we have, but not exactly. For example, Surp Surp goes Surp Surp Zorutians, and so on. Or Yevan Tok Vuitkum, Yevan Tok Vuitkum. We used to sing that. It goes very fast. Of course, in the holy places where there is everyday badarak, midnight, and so on, you could do much more freely what you wanted. But that Avantagan exists.
There's also the Mailian, which Deacon Haig spoke about yesterday, which is known in Bolis. I don't know Derashin if that's the same one. It's in Bolis. It's known as Mailian. I'm not familiar with it, but I know that it exists, and Maestro Tijan mentioned it yesterday.
I see Anahit's hand up.
Deacon Rubik, thank you so much. This is a very engaging presentation. I have a question in terms of when you substitute music. I often struggle with the keys being different, right? When we sing Yegmalian, we're generally in one key, and then every now and then I'd like to put Gomidas's Surp Surpin because it's one of my favorites, but Gomidas is in a higher key. And then my Dead Heart Struggles after, and even if we use the transposition key on the organ, it's still a little too high. How do you navigate that when you're inserting different versions?
Right. As I said, those are the challenges. Some of them don't fit. And it is okay, because that usually comes in one moment after, and then you change basically the key. But as I said, you need to be careful, and as much as you can, you try to transpose that to the key that you are. And nowadays, if that fits, it is easier. You don't have to. Your organist basically can transpose in a baden and then go back to the Yakmalian badarak immediately. But yeah, those are challenges. Those are challenges that we face, and we try to do our best to make the badarak go smoothly as possible.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I was looking for maybe a magic bullet there, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
I try to transpose and write this to the Yakmalian's badarak as much as I can. That's what I do. And then I try to, right after that, look at the Deacon's Litany and try to write a new litany, if it is not written by the same composer, to write a new litany, for example, to follow the same melody that they can answer for a certain time till I have time to stop that and then go to the Yakmalian. As I said, like Chorenian Surpastwas, when we sing, and we finish with the Chorenian melody, really it doesn't fit when the deacons right after that come and they sing and then we can't just answer them with the Yakmalian. It doesn't basically go well. We have to continue with that tonality and with the same key till we come to the end of that litany and then we stop. So you have to just play with transposition basically. And nowadays, if you know the music notation, it's very easy to write those in a music notation and print out and give it to your choir members to learn.
Yep. And I just wanted to offer the Harmed at the end of Hokyankis. We often will vary between Gomidas and also Zare Sarpazan's Harmed, which is also very, very beautiful. So we do use those as well as alternates.
Sure. Yeah. And Zare Sarpazan arranged some nice melodies too, that you can incorporate that in your melodies and
yes,
they're beautiful.
Yes.
I think that we see Dina's hand.
Hi there. I'd like to start by thanking you all for this wonderful festival that you put together. And sorry for my kids in the background. I'll try to speak over their screaming. But it truly has been an enriching experience for myself. I don't have any questions to ask. I'm trying to digest all the information I heard and learned the past 2 days. And since I just joined the choir, I have no music background or singing background or history in music. But I would like to share one of the many things that stood out to me today. And that one thing, that one point, or that one message was that really caught my attention was Sarpazan's message. And the message was to pray the music rather than sing it. And this phrase, to pray the music, explained to me today my personal, my mysterious, my spiritual experience with the church music. Because today, looking back at myself when I was a little girl growing up in Baghdad, I realized I had the privilege of growing up and being surrounded by beautiful church music that was not only sung by the choir, but also sung by older men and women alike, and grandma standing at the front rows of church and singing, praying, and crying these songs. And they did it from the bottom of their heart, and they did it with love. And this power and this ability to sing from your heart and to sing from with love, it made you feel the music in your bones. And not only in your bones, but they made you feel their tears, whether they were tears of sorrow or they were tears of joy. And they made me at least feel alive. And so all this brings me back to Surpazan's message to pray the music and not sing it. And today, as a new member of the choir, I will take this message with me. And it's not an easy thing to do. It's very challenging, but I hope that we can all do it together so we can pass along this spiritual and mysterious experience to our fellow parishioners. And I think this way we can also help increase the attendance of church members. And so once again, I'd like to thank you all in putting this together and looking forward to meeting you all in person, hopefully in the near future.